A thread by Brian Cates. Already seeing responses to Trump's new executive order banning illegals from being counted in the census. How are they going to enforce it? Yes, obviously Trump and his administration have not thought of that. And the federal government has no way to tell who is or isn't a citizen. Surprise! Trump wrote that executive order about all federal departments and agencies checking their records and sharing the records with each other to determine who is a citizen and who is not. From Trump himself, under an executive order I signed last year, federal departments and agencies have been collecting the information needed to conduct an accurate census and inform responsible decisions about public policy, voting rights, and representation in Congress. Today's action further advances this effort and is another example of my administration's commitment to faithfully representing the citizens of the United States and putting their interests first. Back to Brian. Anyone who spent the past 4 years or so pontificating that this new executive order Trump signed today is essentially useless because there's no way for the federal government to determine who's a citizen, who's not, look again. Correct the record. Thank you. Big addendum. The whole reason Democrats fought to keep the citizenship question off the census form was precisely because they desperately want illegals to be counted. So, Trump came up with a way to find out who the illegals are using the federal records. A year ago, when he revealed this, that he was going to have the feds check all the agency and department records to determine citizenship, it was brilliant. How do they stop him from doing that? How do Pelosi or Schumer prevent it? They can't. Can't you see that they can't? Take that, Trump. You don't get to put the citizenship question on the census. You won't be able to keep illegal aliens from being counted. Trump. You morons. You absolute morons. You think the only way it can be determined who the illegals are is by having them fill out a form and self-identifying themselves? I just signed an executive order that will have all the federal agencies and departments do record searches and share this information to determine who is in the country illegally. So, that executive order went into effect when Trump signed it on July 11th, 2019, just over a year ago. They have been working on this for a year, so now Trump was ready to do a follow-up executive order that came today. A year ago, the record searches began to determine who the citizens were and who was not a citizen. Today, Trump announced that every person determined by these federal record searches to not be a citizen will not be counted in the 2020 census. Any census form filled out by someone who was determined to not be a citizen by these federal record searches will not be counted in the census total. And there's nothing the Democrats can do to get these non-citizens counted now. They are shut down. Democrats will just sue to stop this. Nothing will change. Wrong. It's too late to sue. And besides, on what grounds do you sue the executive branch for use of its own records to exclude illegals from a census of U.S. citizens? This is a non-starter. Why do you think Trump waited until now to do this? It's like people don't think Trump is smart or something. They think he just does stuff and then steps on a rake. Mystifying. Well, if they were counting on the huge influx of illegal aliens they allowed in to get them more seats. Oh, and did you know this? The census and the changing number of seats in the states affects the number of electoral college votes that states have in presidential elections. Yep, it's true. It's true. The Census Bureau is requesting that lawmakers extend the legal deadline for the Bureau to deliver to the president new state population counts used to redistribute congressional seats and electoral college votes among the states. What's going to happen here is that when this new census numbers are calculated, and those numbers in each state exclude those who are not citizens, some states are going to lose electoral college votes. If states like California and others got a big electoral college boost out of a massive number of illegals residing in that state, then when this 2020 census takes effect without any of those illegals being counted this time, then both the number of seats in Congress and electoral college votes will drop. The 2020 census numbers won't take effect until next year. Good thing the Democratic Party has gone batshit baying at the moon insane then. Even supposing they come back to their senses in 2021, it'll be far too late to stop Trump's successor. We still have 100 more days to go of Democrat governors and mayors insisting everything is fine. They don't need any federal help as violence and crime and mayhem grow and grow and grow in their cities. Trump will do the smart things. Watch.